Last season, the #2 ranked player in the world, RS, used mass drags, and today we're going to test out the army, and we got some surprising results. Here is the leaderboard. This was a couple of days before the end of the season, but RS did finish rank 2 in the end, and I'm using this to show you the army he was using at the time. As you can see, 10 dragons with 14 balloons and 2 inferno dragons. Very interesting army. Then a few troops to tank for the flame flinger he often uses. We got 5 freeze, 2 rage, 2 skellies. You can see the pets he's using on these heroes here, but you can also see on the far left, the owl is upgrading. So I'm going to run the owl on the warden, then use the phoenix on the king. A little bit different to RS. I've been using this army all week in the Clan War Leagues, and at this stage, I am still perfect. We are on day 5 as I'm speaking now. So we start with the Flame Flinger, and you almost always want to use the Flame Flinger with this army. There is one exception I'll show you later in this video where you'll be coming in with the blimp. So the most important thing with dragons is what angle you're going to come in from. And things you have to look at is the sweepers. You see the sweepers here. They're not facing the same direction, which is a good thing. It gives us more options. But yeah, it's still annoying that it covers so much of base. And then the eagle. You don't really want the eagle to go down that late because it is so bad for your dragons. Worth noting, by the way, we used the giant to tank for the archer tower and now the barb and 2 archers to tank for the mortar. You can tank 2 different defenses for your flame flinger with this army comp. So anyway, you're going to see I end up coming through the town hall here. We're still going to get to the eagle quite quickly. We're going to kill this CC building early, which is huge because keep in mind, if you don't pull the CC before you destroy it, the CC is never going to come out. And you can see the range of it here. It's highly unlikely the heroes are going to pull it because we are assuming a triple ice golem CC. So we're coming straight into the town hall here. I use the inferno drags and a few balloons on the top side, then king and queen on the bottom side, and away we go. Just spam those dragons in a line. I'm going to pop the warden ability any second. Beautiful timing on that. We are running the healing tome. You'll see the importance of the flame flinger in a second because dragons, this right here is what dragons are really good at. Entries to the base and dealing with the core of the base. Dragons, whether it be super dragons, e-dragons, these dragons, even inferno dragons, really good at taking down the core, but they're really bad at getting out of the core. They get surrounded by defenses and will often die quite quickly. So that's why the flame flinger is really nice for this attack. You put it on the back end of your attack, get any value you can. It doesn't even have to be insane value. Just get as many defenses as possible, take them out on the back end, and the base has no chance. In saying that, I don't think we needed the flame flinger here. This base got completely and utterly wrecked. We're swagging the royal champion in the first attack, and a really good start for the army here. In terms of what I'm running in hero equipment, you can see that there. I am running the healer puppet, but I'm liking the healer puppet less and less because all my healers keep finding Sams, and the rest of it is as expected. So yeah, box space down, but let's go up against 2 ring bases next. This is the one case where I decide to bring a blimp instead of a flame flinger. It's when you see bases like this with these double poison towers, and I was thinking to myself, I could get both poison towers to lock onto my blimp, and therefore my dragons don't have to fight a spell tower the whole time. Because there is probably a little bit of flame flinger value on the top side, you could get rid of those buildings and damage the royal champion, but particularly on the bottom side, you might even be able to get the ricochet cannon down. I don't know the ranges there, but yeah, definitely enough value for a flame flinger here. But when I see these double poison towers, I want to get both of them to shoot at the blimp. In terms of the angle we're coming in, picking the path of least resistance, no sweeper is facing this direction. This one might get 1 or 2 shots off, but not the end of the world. We double rage with the warden ability. Unfortunately, the first poison tower doesn't shoot at the blimp, but the second poison tower does. You can see the king and queen on the left-hand side. I do not rage the blimp. I'll only rage the blimp if I see a bunch of red bombs or a tornado come up. Otherwise, I'd rather save the 3rd rage spell in this army for the dragons or the heroes. Now, this, you're going to see the weakness of the dragons. Look at them get wrecked inside the poison effect of the town hall. yeah, the ones over here just got next to 0 value. So they're really good getting to the core, but if there's a poison tower, spell towers just wreck normal dragons in particular. So King's done a really good job coming in on the top side, gets rid of the defensive royal champion, but you see the CC does come out here because that was the biggest weakness of the angle we came from. It was highly unlikely the dragons were going to deal with that clan castle. So you can definitely see the value of going into the clan castle early like you saw in the last attack. Far less likely to pull the triple ice golem. But we get a little lucky here, I'm not going to lie. This was definitely lucky. The queen's able to deal with the CC when no damage is on it. We're sitting on a skeleton spell and an invis. I haven't even talked about that. I dropped one freeze spell for an invis with this army comp, just in case I ran into one of those double invis bases, because then you can do the trick where you put an invis and a skeleton down on the town hall to activate both invis towers. So that's why I've got it in the army comp. I probably didn't need the invis in this war, but I mean, the invis is always going to be good with your heroes at least. And yeah, sitting on the queen ability, sitting on the royal champion ability, that will be enough to take down the back end of this base. So yeah, I think I swagged both of their abilities in the end. So yeah, really nice, showing that you can use this army with the blimp as well, getting another 3-star on the board. So here we are coming in. I'm not doing this attack live right now, but I figured I'd show you guys the point of view, how it looks on the screen when I'm doing the attack, because obviously you watch a replay, you don't really get an idea for the movements and all. So maybe this helps you. I don't know. You guys can let me know down in the comments if it doesn't. But speaking of minimal flame flinger value, but it's still been worth it, sending the flame flinger here into 2 mortars and a monolith eventually, but all I want is the air defense and the warden. So I'm going to tank for both of the mortars here. So I send a giant at the start because I'm not only trying to tank the mortar, I'm looking for traps in the area. So going to tank 1 shot, but then I need to put the archer down because the giant does get inside the dead zone of the mortar, but we find a Tesla, which is huge. I had no idea if there was going to be Teslas there. Flame Flinger is going to get the mortar down. Really nicely done there. And then I'm going to take down the other mortar with some balloons. I mean, you have 14 loons in this army comp. You can definitely afford it. So yeah, nice little funnel set there. But you'll see, this is one of those new meta ring bases with the isolated core. It does have double poison tower, so I could have brought the blimp on this one, but the reason I didn't bring the blimp is funneling the dragons to the core of this base is going to be really difficult. And that's also why I didn't use the flame flinger on the back end of the base, because I needed the funnel on the bottom side from the flame flinger and the top side from the heroes to get the dragons into the center here, because this center isn't just a town hall and 2 poison towers. If it was, you could use the blimp, but there's also a whole host of other defenses in there that I'm gonna need my dragons to take down. So the funnel is everything. And look, all the dragons go in beautifully. One of the hardest troops to funnel in the game. You have no idea how satisfying it is to get all the troops in there. You also saw the balloons got in there and pulled a whole host of traps, so well done to them. King and Queen are doing great on the top side. Somehow the Flame Flinger still hasn't opened. There you go, it opens right now. The town hall does go down, and it takes a few dragons with it, but that's alright. Sitting on the royal champion here, I pop my queen ability because the defensive king goes after my queen instead of my king. I think the king had gone to Phoenix, but yeah, loons on the bottom doing their best. We use the RC down the bottom to get rid of the air defense and the multi. Those dragons get rid of the get rid of the, get rid of the eagle artillery, which is huge. And basically, there's no way to fail this from here. That invis spell was terrible, but as long as I get down that multi-archer tower, we are set to go. And that is a clan clash triple. So you've seen 3 attacks now on 3 different bases. So you must think that my opinion of this army is relatively high. Of course, like I said, used it every day in the Clan War League. Haven't failed with it yet. So clearly, it's a good army, right? Right? Well, it's a little more complicated than that. Let's jump into a couple of Legends League attacks I did with the army. YouTube, you're gonna love this. This is one of the worst attacks you'll ever see me do on the channel, but I'm gonna show it to you all to prove a point. So, didn't really know what to do on this. Double invis bases are interesting for this army. For some reason, I completely forgot that I could do the invis and skelly trick, and then could have blimped the town hall, because that's why I bring the the invis in this army. But still, didn't really know what to do. So what I'm gonna do, send a flame flinger on the left side to get the multi down, because it can just outrange the expo, and then spam in drags from the bottom. Safe to say, it doesn't go really well. And I want to talk about why this army will never be used as much as Root Riders, and it's kind of this right here. You can fail with this army And you need to learn, like, I know people think mass drag is pure spam, but I mean, it is pure spam, but you need to learn the best entries for bases. There is a learning curve with this, and to be honest, there is no learning curve with Root Riders. You can spam it from any angle on the base and you will 3-star. You cannot spam this from any angle on the base and always 3-star, and you're going to see that here, because this attack goes miserably. So I popped the Warden ability early because I felt like I had to. Troops were taking a bit of damage from the Eagle Artillery, and the Loons were going down quickly. So I pop it here. Haven't used a rage spell yet because there hasn't been a need to. So I was kind of happy if my troops went around the core here, because I thought they would come into the core eventually and still have plenty of health. But you're going to see what happens here. But yeah, this army, it's fun. And this, I'm going to put it this way. This army is what air spam should be, right? I do a bad attack here. This is a bad attack. So the King and Queen are on the top side. They do not get much value. I completely forget to tank the Monolith, and the Ricochet Cannons are completely wrecking them. Look at all my drags. I had 10 of them. I am now down to 3, even though I haven't fought any of these defenses. I mean, the multi-arch towers got in a couple of shots. That was it. That was it. I haven't even dealt with the toughest part of the base yet, and all of my troops were dead. I did a bad attack here, and I got punished for it. This is what, like, spam attacks should be. Spam attacks should be in the game. There are some bases that deserve to get spammed. But at the moment with Root Riders, you don't get punished for your mistakes. You can come in any angle on any base. I kind of appreciated the learning curve with the Super Dragons here of understanding different bases, how you should go through them. Some boxes, like the one you saw earlier, you should go through the Town Hall. There's plenty where you shouldn't, particularly if a lot of damage is on the back end, because then your Warden ability isn't negating much damage. But yeah, I just end up giving up on this one. There's no way I can really get the Town Hall here. I mean, I probably could have, but I wanted to show this in the video as soon as I saw this happen. I was like, okay, maybe this army isn't as strong as I gave it credit for. So I guess my closing statement, as I show you all my log, which is terrible from today, Mass Dragons is good. It is balanced, it is fun, and you have to do different entries on every style of base. It is what spam should be, right? Spam shouldn't be what Root Riders are at the moment, where it doesn't matter which angle you come in, you spam in a line, put the siege barracks down, and you get the 3-star. This is what it should be. Hopefully, if the Root Riders get another nerf, I know a lot of you would hate that, but hopefully if they do, maybe we'll see more of this style of army as spam, because yeah, it is defendable, but when you do it right, you can completely overkill bases.